Hi everyone, hope you're well. Vicky here. So I'm going to be showing you how I made this card today. So this is my first time using the Altenew layering stamps. So I'm using the Hope set, and then these are my new ink pads as well. So they come from Altenew. The little ones all come in nice little sets where you get 4 shades of a colour. And then what you do is you layer it up from lightest to darkest as per the instructions on the back, and it makes a really nice layered flower so that you get this really lovely effect. So the first step is obviously to put down the original one, which is the biggest one. It's the chunkiest one. It has the most coverage, and this is your base. So I'm just lining that up on my Misty. Having a stamping tool for this, I imagine, would be a great benefit. I did look and think about trying to do it with my normal stamping block. However, I think that to try and get, if you need obviously to do like an extra go around with it or anything, or an extra press just to get a bit of better coverage, which I think I did on this one, it would make life a little bit more complicated trying to get it back exactly where you were. So obviously having that stamping platform gives you the ability to make sure it is precisely where you actually want it, which, you know, is what everyone wants. They want their stamping to be pretty and accurate. So I'm just going to give that a little clean down. I did give them all a proper clean down, but I was just wiping it dry and clean just with a bit of tissue at that time. So that's that one back in there. And then I will need to pick up the next one. It took me a little while to get it back in. I'm not quite sure why, so I do apologise. I also would like to take this opportunity to say that I hope you all had a really lovely Christmas and that Santa was very nice to you. I think at some point this year I must have been really well behaved because Santa was very nice to me. So the back of the packaging does help you line it up if you're having issues with lining these up. This is the second layer, so I'm just popping it down and picking it up with the door of my Misty again, and picking the second darkest colour on my colour options. It is one of those where I think practice will make perfect and I'll get better at lining them up, but I don't think I did too badly as I was going. As you can see, you've now got that lighter shade with this bit darker over the top that just gives it that little bit of shadow. And I think it's one of those things where even the base layer looked nice. With 2 layers, it looks really nice. Once I do the next layer in a second, you'll see it looks even nicer. And you could realistically leave it at any of those points. But having all the layers does really just make such a beautiful looking flower. And my colouring has vastly improved since I started doing this in March, but I don't think it's got quite that good. So as you can see, it does give you a little hints and tips just to make sure you can help line up which bits with where, just so that you do get the right effect on it. I think the only one that I had any real issues with was the last one on this. It isn't quite as perfectly placed, I don't think, but you can't really tell. And I am still really happy with it. So we're going to pretend that it's perfectly done once I've done it. I think once you put this third colour on, you can really start to see some of that definition within the flower, and it's just so pretty. I also realised that I did get purples, greens and yellows in these Altenew inks, which are superb as well, by the way. I mean, look at the coverage on that flower. It's stunning. I'm very, very pleased that I decided to dabble into Altenew. However, I realised that I should probably have done the flower purple so I could do the centre of the flower in the yellow. So I did have to dig in my stash and just find some other colours to pop into the centre of this one. You can see it took me a bit longer to line it up, and I didn't realise it until after I'd stamped it with my darkest shade, which is possibly my favourite of these shades. I really love this colour. It wasn't until after I stamped it I realised there's a tiny bit in the top left of what I've just stamped that looks slightly out of place. I mean, it's pretty damn close, I think. I don't think I'm far off. So, you know, we'll go with it. It'll be fine. I did do a second stamping just to get a bit of extra colour on that, but I do love that shade. I think it's Honey, it's called. But it is a beautiful, beautiful shade. And I'll just let you have a little look at the depth and dimension that you can get from those stamps. I did the leaf off camera using the greens that I purchased, and then I needed to do my sentiment. I just didn't want to show you the layering again. I thought the video would get really long if I did. So this is just one of the sentiments that comes with this. So this is You Are Better Soon. I'll get better soon. So that I've just stamped with black ink. and I did do 2 coats just to make sure it was nice and crisp. And then my intention was to stamp out the word hope and cut it with the corresponding dies, which I did get to go with this. However, after I had stamped it, I went to try and die cut it with the corresponding dies and realised that the die for the word hope isn't actually exactly the same size as the stamp. So I do have in my little bit of stash of random pieces of scrap card, I also have the word hope, which I can obviously cut out and make into a banner to go on a different card at another point, but it wasn't until I got it out. So what I did was I cut the word hope 3 times from black cardstock and stuck those together. It still looks beautiful, and it's very, very close to being exactly the same as the original one, but it's just not quite. So I have stamped that out. I cut that out on my die cut machine 3 times in black card and laid that up just to give it a bit of extra dimension. It's just far too scripty to be able to get any kind of foam tape on those. And then I've just popped some glue on the back, and I'm going to layer that over there just to cover up where I wasn't quite happy with the placement of the leaves. It's wonderful what a die cut can do to cover up the issues. And I'm just going to weigh that down. Now, I was originally going to go over it with my glossy accents and make it almost look enamelled. However, looking at it and the way that I know my glossy accents do actually come out, I didn't think that it would quite have the effect that I wanted. So I changed my plan. I did just take a nice blue card blank. I thought that would be quite nice. It's just a Lawn Fawn blue card. Lots of glue on the back of it. I decided not to raise it up because it is going in the post, and I'm trying to not make things too awkward to post at the moment. Because I am posting a lot. I love sending cards, especially when I can't see people. I just think it's nice to send a little bit of personalised love to everybody. So what I did end up doing, and I will go back to that in a second, is actually using my Spectrum Noir clear overlay glittery pen, shimmer pen. So that was me getting the glossy accents out with every intention, and then I changed my mind and used my Spectrum Noir pen instead to make it all sparkly and shiny. And I will lift that up and show you guys the sparkle. It's even more sparkly when you get it into your hands and you actually look at it in the light, but it does just add that nice little touch. But yes, that was my first attempt at layering stamps from Altenew, and I absolutely love the effect and I love how the card turned out. I hope you have all enjoyed that, and I can't wait to spend next year sharing all my crafty loves with you guys. Speak to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.